The way a dying person looks at the end of life can sometimes upset family members because they're not ready to see what this person looks like, or they don't know what to expect. So when they see it, it upsets them. And one of those things is how their face looks. So someone who's in the end stages of dying, like the actively dying phase, they usually have open eyes, partially open eyes, one eye closed, one eye's open, and their mouth is usually open. Sometimes their tongue's even hanging out. They cannot look like themselves, right? And they can almost look a little creepy because their eyes have this glaze over them. Sometimes they have like a gray coating over them. Their mouth is hanging open. They're breathing funny. And people think, like, what the heck happened to my loved one? And I like to talk about this because I think it's important we educate about how the body will look at the end of life and how that's very normal and why it's happening. It's happening because they are losing it takes muscles to keep this face the way it looks. It takes muscles to smile. It takes muscles to close the mouth. It takes muscles to close the eyes. It takes muscles to blink. At the end of life, those muscles aren't working. So the person's eyes are just hanging open and they're not conscious. They don't know. They're not like wishing they could blink and they can't. They are not conscious. So that part of their brain is shut off. So their eyes are open and they're usually not making any eye contact or fixed on a certain point. They usually are very not home, if you know what I mean. That's very normal. Sometimes their eyes can look cloudy or covered because the eye's actually trying to protect itself because it's not blinking. So it has a foam that kind of goes over it, or like a waxy looking thing that can go over the eyeball. So that can look different, right? And then the mouth will be hanging open as well. And sometimes the tongue will be even hanging out because the tongue, it takes muscle to keep the tongue in. So the mouth will be open, the tongue will be out. They can kind of have some like facial drooping. Again, all very normal, not to be disturbed by, but if you're not ready for it, it can feel a little disturbing. Their skin color can look a little different, maybe a little more pale, maybe a little more purple, maybe a little more waxy. It just depends. Again, I'm only saying all of this to help normalize what it looks like when someone is close to death, and normalizing what the body will look like. There are several other things, but that's just one of the things. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced something like this when you've witnessed a loved one dying, and any other questions you might have. Okay, thanks guys.